And we've got some of our first greenhouse tomato varieties. We've got a one that we've been working on that's a dwarf tomato, which is this one right here. We've got some Amana Orange, Kaleidoscopic Jewel, and
Cantrell.
Granny Cantrell,
Carbon.
and Carbon. And so we are going to slice these babies open and let you see what they look like and give them some taste testing.
We're going to save the Kaleidoscopic Jewel till last since it's a new one for us. So we're going to start with our favorite orange tomato, Morgan's favorite tomato probably, period. And we'll give you a look at a cross section of it. Very meaty tomato. We'll let the expert over here tell us how this one is.
It's always good. As usual, it's got that more sweet flavor to it, non-acidic, and it doesn't have, I don't like where it's really juicy and seedy. I like that more meaty type.
Morgan's a fan of the meaty and sweet. She's not a big fan of the extra runny, lots of seeds. I'm just going to eat a small piece. Excellent. I can tell you that herbs was cut on this cutting board before it was presented to me for tomatoes.
That would be garlic, scapes.
Because I can taste it in the tomato. Okay, so the Amana Orange, as always, is a winner for us. It's just an excellent tomato, always is. We don't really have any complaints with that tomato. We grow several of them a year. Okay, the Granny Cantrell is a few days old, so we may not get quite as pretty of a tomato here because it's been sitting on the table for a few days and it wasn't the prettiest tomato to begin with. You can see what we got. Let's slice that bottom off. Bottom is a little rough on that tomato. You can see we got a nice traditional beefsteak look. Very meaty. Just enough gel and seeds to present itself well. Morgan?
Definitely has more acidic flavor to it, which comes with the red. So.
Oh, love it. Man, that's awesome. And by the way, don't think that any of these are going to get wasted. I'll sit here with pepper and fork and eat tomatoes, and Tiffany's getting ready to have nachos from her homemade stuff around the farm today, so it's all going to get used. This is, as Tiffany was saying, this is a dwarf that we've been working with for a few years now. And so far, everything has come out dwarf on this tomato. The tomato gets probably about a foot tall pretty quick. And after that, it just about shuts down growing. It probably 18 inches, 2 foot is about as big as it gets. Real stalky. Supports itself quite well. And this is the classic size of the tomato that you get. We run across this seed, this one seed out of a package that produced this several years ago, and we have been cultivating it, and this is third generation, and it's stable. Exact same thing for 3 years. So we're quite happy with it, to the point that we're going to try to grow some of these inside this winter. You can see it's this is about a golf ball sized tomato, nothing huge. Flavor is a traditional red tomato. While it doesn't taste nearly as good as the Granny Cantrell, it is going to be an amazing tomato to be able to grow in your living room, you know, or on your patio, or on your enclosed deck. So you can see. Morgan?
Definitely a wonderful tomato.
It's just a basic red tomato, but it's excellent. Now, I'm sure it won't compare to the Carbon, but I am a little biased. Carbon and Cherokee Purple are in my top 5, and I've grown Cherokee Purples probably where I started my passion with tomatoes. I always liked growing tomatoes, you know, but when I grew my first Cherokee Purple, I was at that point in love of tomatoes. And now we're growing, don't have an exact count, because if you count then you got to own up to it, but we're growing over 125 varieties of tomatoes, and we usually add about 15 to that every year. So it's an addiction, but it's a healthy addiction. And this is why I like a Cherokee Purple. Look at the meat. Got a little bit of seeds here, small seed pockets, but the meat is excellent. And then the flavor on a Cherokee Purple or Carbon, and this is a Carbon. Carbon is for lack of a better word, is a sport of a Cherokee Purple. It is the same basic tomato, but it's more uniform. Cherokee Purple gives you more of that heirloom beefsteak, where you get more ribs, and Cherokee Purple grows a little bit truer. But it's just makes your mouth water just to look at it. And they usually get quite a bit bigger than this. This is a greenhouse tomato, and it's the first one off the plant, so a little bit more immature. I'm not sure if I want to share any of this one with Morgan. Should I? Wow.
Somehow it's sweet and acidic at the same time.
Yeah, that's just. If you've never had one, it's hard to describe. They describe them as smoky. I mean, I can almost see that, but the flavor is just through the roof on one of those. They are just absolutely amazing. Always a top for me. Alright. Well, Morgan, here's what we've been waiting on to find out if we've got a new farm favorite or if we've got a flop. If you don't know, Kaleidoscopic Jewel is a Wild Boar Farms variety. We added that this year, and been very happy with what we've seen so far. We're hoping we got this at peak of ripeness, so we're about to find out. Looks like it might have been able to use another day. I'm going to assume that it's a little bit immature.
Get some of that color on there. This one's got a lot of purple stripes, green stripes, yellow stripes with a pink base. Very pretty.
I have literally never ate a tomato that tastes anything like that. That is
That was weird.
that's different. Not different in a bad way. Almost a caramel taste.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's Tiffany.
Uh-huh.
You're gonna have to give us your expert taste buds on this. Yep, that's what I thought.
Very interesting. It's got very sweet, very, very super sweet, almost a candy flavor. But then it's got that tart that makes you just kind of twitch a little bit. And
I tell you, almost like a caramel taste.
yeah, it's got a smokiness to it. That's
Rich. Very, very, very rich.
very, yeah.
All right, Morgan, what's your favorite at what we just tested?
I like different, so now it's the Kaleidoscopic Jewel.
Really? Oh, we switched her. I'm still sticking with on what we just did. The carbon is still my favorite. It's hard to get me over a black and purple tomato, but of these varieties right here, the carbon is mine. Tiffany, do you need to taste in order to give us your opinion?
Yeah, my Amana Orange is always my favorite, so we'll see.
All right, let's put you in a Granny Cantrell.
Very good, basic red tomato. Very flavorful.
Standard red
Yeah.
beefsteak. There is our dwarf.
That's actually really good.
Yeah, I would describe it as an excellent salad tomato.
Yeah.
It's just got that perfect taste and texture and tart.
It almost have like it almost seems like it has a little bit of salt to
Yes,
it.
absolutely. I agree. Did you get that out of it? Yep. Okay.
I like salty things like Morgan.
Amana Orange.
Always delicious and classic orange tomato.
And then, of course, the best tomato of all of them.
Keep telling yourself that.
I mean, this is...
All of these are going to be really good on top of my nachos, by the way.
if I share any of the carbon.
You know, with the Amana Orange being there, carbon's probably my favorite. Between it and the Kaleidoscopic Jewel. Yeah. Of course, that Rutgers dwarf tomato, that was really good too.
They're all special in their own way. It depends on what you're going to do with them. And this is the very example of why I can never tell you I've got one favorite tomato. If I've got to pick one, it's going to be Cherokee Purple. If you make me pick one, that'll be it. But to me, it really depends on what I'm doing with the tomato. If it's going on a salad, or on a bologna sandwich with mayonnaise, or on a BLT. You know, it depends on where it's going, what it is, or whether it's in a plate of soup, beans, and cornbread, or whether when we get on up into the heart of the season and it's fresh sliced peppers and fresh sliced tomatoes and fresh sliced cucumbers, then I like to have a rainbow of tomatoes on the plate and eat them all to get all the different flavors. But, you know, to me, all these stand out in their own way. If I had to pick one that I like the least, it's probably going to be the dwarf. But that being said, it's just because I like the other one so much better. And if I got to pick the one I like the best, it's going to be the carbon.
Morgan, what's your least favorite?
Probably Granny Cantrell.
That'd been mine too.
Well, it's just classic red beefsteak.
Yeah, classic red.
It's a classic red beefsteak, which Morgan, you got to know Morgan's history. Morgan hated tomatoes until just a few years back, and we broke her over with the blueberries tomatoes, And then she started venturing into the Amana Oranges and some of the other stuff. So now she's just as dangerous as her sister Alyssa, and it's hard to get the first tomatoes from the greenhouse to the house because they say, "Oh, you had a ripe so-and-so today." Well, where is it? Oh, I ate it. So
You shouldn't expect to get a cherry tomato back home.
yeah, we have that issue with a few things on the farm, blueberries and strawberries, and so we have to plant 10 times as many so everybody else gets some.
Snap peas.
Snap peas, it's dangerous around
Yeah.
here.
Sometimes broccoli, you just snap it off while you're down there and snack on it.
Well, I hope y'all enjoyed. We'll do another one of these when we get maybe a few new varieties in. And maybe it looks like Carbon and the Kaleidoscopic Jewel was the two favorites of this. So maybe, hopefully, if it works out, next time we'll do a Carbon, Kaleidoscopic Jewel, and maybe 3 other tomatoes and see who wins that one, Morgan.
Yep.
Y'all be sure to subscribe if you like this type of stuff, and we'll do more of it. This is what we're passionate about, and if you're passionate about it, we'd love to have you on our channel.